Okay. So we will start reading. So we will offer our prayers and then start. Om Agyanatigramasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikasa Swami Nidaramaya. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidaramaya. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyamadi Paschatya Deshatarane Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karti Vachalam Guruve Gaura Chandra Radhikari Tatale Krishna Krishna Bhaktaya Bhaktaya Namaha Bhagishaya Sarvale Lakshmi Yasya Sukshiti Yasyasthi Ratis Yasya Deve Para Bhaktir Yatha Devi Tatha Tasthiti Kadithai Artha Prakasham Yonta Pravisha Mamachar Mam Prasuptam Sanjeeva Yatya Kalashakti Dharasvatam Jnana Shastra Charya Shravanat Pradade Pranam Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Vidhyam Vijayaguru Harivanya Krishna Chitta Vichintata Vitakriya Adanda Sansara Chitta Prabhupajana Sapabdo Majyan Sam Sabishlo Vijayati Vikas Bhakti Veti Indra Hare Krishna. So we're continuing to read from the book The Mood and Mission of Srila Prabhupada by His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Swami Maharaj. We are in the part 1, chapter 1, in the essay from the book. It is page number 67. We are in the essay, Are We Doing What Srila Prabhupada Wanted? I want to request some devotees to read, or later I will read it. Rupananda Prabhu, if you read.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Yes, you can continue to read, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhuji. Are we doing what Srila Prabhupada wanted?
Prabhu, you have the book or you're reading from the screen?
I have the book, Prabhuji.
Okay, yes.
Famously, Srila Prabhupada exhorted his disciples to do as I am doing. And whatever he did was done according to his hallmark, as it is literalistic approach. There is no question of altering or changing according to circumstances. We know Krishna is perfect. Whatever he has said is all right in all conditions. That is our belief. We do not deviate. Reference conversations regarding philosophy of I don't know the full form of that B.F.
No,
Skinner.
it is the name of the person,
Oh,
B.F. Skinner.
B.F. Skinner. As early as 1972, Srila Prabhupada warned, I have already given you the standards. Now try to maintain them at all times under standard procedure. Do not try to innovate or create anything or manufacture anything that will ruin everything. Letter dated 18 September 1972. The general principle is clear. Your statement expressing your surrender to your spiritual master is proper. If this principle is followed, you will remain pure and always protected by Krishna. Always follow my instructions and my example. This should be your life and soul. Letter dated 1st October 1974. Everything will be all right if you follow my instructions. Chakrini Devi Dasi in a bond of love. The health and authenticity of ISKCON can thus be judged by one simple criterion. Are we doing what Srila Prabhupada wanted? If not, no amount of popularity, no number of buildings, and no other outer sign of success can be of any real value. ISKCON can truly be successful if it conveys the pure message of Krishna through the medium of pure devotees whose motives and goals are in line with those of Srila Prabhupada and not of their own egos. Adjustments, innovations, deviations, and disagreements. Srila Prabhupada's instructions are available to all his followers. So, why should there be any disagreement concerning them? Why should everyone not just follow Srila Prabhupada as he is? Except for completely pure devotees, everyone is subject to the four material deficiency, Brahma, the tendency to commit mistakes, Pramada, the tendency to be illusioned, Vipralipsa, the tendency to cheat, and Karnapatav, imperfect sensitive. Srimad Bhagavatam 10.13.15 purport. Recognizing the tendency to be thus influenced, followers of Srila Prabhupada should resolve to follow what he actually instructed, not what they feel or think is proper, correct, or better. They must base their actions and decisions strictly upon his teachings and instructions. Whimsical interpretation can spoil everything, as Srila Prabhupada had witnessed in his own spiritual master's organization. Different god brothers took the word of Guru Maharaj in different interpretations for sense gratification, and the whole mission disrupted. This is still going on for the last 40 years without any proper settlement. I am always afraid of this crack. Letter dated 18th October 1969. In Srila Prabhupada's personal presence, the path forward seemed clear. As two leading disciples expressed to Srila Prabhupada shortly before and in anticipation of his departure from the world, we have nothing new to find out. We have no research to make. You have given us everything. We only have to carry out exactly how you have trained us up and taught us. Reference.
Yes, Prabhu. I've given. Oh, but it is.
Okay.
Oh, I've done it.
You have made everything very clear.
No. 1 second. I'm doing it, but then why it is not reflecting it here? 1 second.
342. Reference 342.
Oh, no. Yes, now. I don't. Yes, this is the reference. 341 reference.
Letter 18th October 1969.
There was some fraction of second for the internet. Some problem was there. I think that's why it
Okay.
didn't pick up. Yes. Continue.
In Srila Prabhupada's personal presence, the path forward seemed clear, as two leading disciples expressed to Srila Prabhupada shortly before and in anticipation of his departure from the world. We have nothing new to find out. We have no research to make. You
Prabhu,
have given us.
1 second. I don't know why this my computer. I'm unable to share the screen. Just a second, please. My internet and the computer got disconnected. Oh, gosh. Sorry. Oh, Krishna.
Screen share.
No. The thing is,
Text is not appearing.
yes, Prabhu. My internet is the problem. Otherwise, I would do it. 1 second. Oh, Okay, one second, I'll share it from the. Hmm, okay. Sorry for the disturbance. Uh, yes. Are we doing what we are doing? Just a second. Okay. Not able to. Okay, we'll continue from the book itself.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, Prabhuji.
You continue from the book, Prabhu. In the
Okay,
meantime,
Prabhuji.
I will connect it. One second. One second. It got connected. One second. It's always. I thought everything is going on very nicely, and suddenly Krishna gave me a lesson. No, everything doesn't. You can continue to read, Prabhu.
Okay,
I will.
Prabhuji. We only have to carry out exactly how you have trained us up and taught us. You have made everything very clear. Disagreements can arise over how exactly to implement Srila Prabhupada's instructions, especially considering that, as he himself recognized, his success much derived from his being flexible and innovative. Indeed, he deemed these principles so important that he enshrined them in his preaching strategy. Expert devotees can discover novel ways and means to convert the non devotees in terms of particular time and circumstance.
Prabhu, just
Yes,
can you pause for 1 minute? I'll just connect it once.
okay.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So you read this. Okay.
Define,
Yes, Prabhu. You can. Disagreements. This is the place you're reading.
probably defying stereotype. Ahead, slightly ahead.
Most likely add. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Defying stereotypes, acharyas invoke the dynamism of devotional service to change the way of dull materialists. An acharya who comes from the for the service of law of the Lord cannot be expected to conform to a stereotype, for he must find the ways and means by which Krishna consciousness may be spread. Chaitanya Charitamrita 1.7.31-32 purport. Devotional service is dynamic activity, and the expert devotees can find out competent means to inject it into the dull brains of the materialistic population. Such transcendental activities of the devotees for the service of Lord can bring a new order of life to the foolish society of materialistic men. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his subsequent followers exhibited expert dexterity in this connection. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.16 purport. In unprecedentedly bringing Krishna consciousness to non-Hindus, Srila Prabhupada kept his teaching well grounded in the principles and doctrines of his predecessors in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara. He charted the course that all religious missionaries must negotiate, that between fidelity to a tradition and relevance to a time and place, while considering the mentality and aptitude of those he ministered to. Reference. This paragraph is derived from Paul H. Cherbow in the Hare Krishna movement, the post charismatic fate of a religious transplant, page 144. With the discernment of an expert acharya, Srila Prabhupada knew how to adjust things according to prevalent conditions. Expert religionists know perfectly well how to adjust religious principle in terms of time and place. All the great acharyas or religious preachers or reformers of the world executed their mission by adjustment of religious principles in terms of time and place. There are different climates and situations in different parts of the world. And if one has to discharge his duties to preach the message of the Lord, he must be expert in adjusting things in terms of the time and place.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Reference at Srimad Bhagavatam 1.9.9 purport. Acting according to apadharma or occupational duty at times of extraordinary happenings. Reference Srimad Bhagavatam 1.17.16 purport. Srila Prabhupada had to do things like keeping his food in a fridge with meat when he was first in America. See Sat Swarup Das Goswami's Srila Prabhupada Leelamrit, Chapter 4, India Unifying ISKCON. He openly acknowledged, for preaching, I have violated so many things. What can be done? As far as possible, I have kept pace. Conversation dated 20 March 1977.
Okay, Prabhu. I'll give somebody else to wait. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry I had to keep you waiting for so much time. Yes. Okay. Jai Janaki Devi Dasi. Have you read Mataji anytime? No, I don't know whether she's there. Okay. Chandrarekha Mataji can read it.
Yes, Mata. Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. A major challenge for interpreters of Srila Prabhupada
Yes. Hare Krishna. Mataji, Hare Krishna.
not interpret, speculate.
No, Mataji, actually, I couldn't hear anything after Srila Prabhupada. I think there is an interruption in your internet.
Okay. I'll move to different place then. 1 second.
I don't know whether it's only for me or others also.
I'm able to hear you very clearly.
But
How about
somehow,
now? Now,
It's
Prabhuji?
fine.
yeah,
Hare
you can
Krishna.
read from first. When you started to read, and then it came to Srila Prabhupada, and then it became a minute pause like thing. And then,
Okay,
yeah,
fine, Prabhuji. Sorry. Hare
you
Krishna.
can,
A
you can
major
read.
challenge for interpreters of Srila Prabhupada is balancing his stern warnings to not interpret, speculate, or deviate with his personal example of making unprecedented adjustments for the sake of launching Krishna consciousness in uncharted territory. Srila Prabhupada himself addressed this issue. You cannot change, you cannot improve. That is rascaldom. A spiritual master does not change the words of Krishna and make any improvement upon them. There is no such Hare Krishna. There is no question of improvement. But sometimes, according to time, circumstances, country, candidate, there is some trick or some ways. The real business is one must take to Krishna consciousness. So sometimes we have to adapt some means which will help us to distribute the Krishna consciousness movement. That is a different thing. But on principle, we cannot change the words. Reference 353. Lecture 3rd June 1975. Srila Prabhupada sought to maintain the essential principles while most intelligently and expertly introducing special conditions. Reference 354.
Oh,
Hare Krishna.
yeah, again, there is interruption, Mataji. I'm sorry to say.
Okay, others also facing the same issue, is it?
Yes,
And
there was a break in your voice.
Oh, I have moved to another place now. I'll just check for a few minutes. Otherwise, I'll stop. Srila Prabhupada sought to maintain the essential principles while most intelligently and expertly introducing special concessions. Reference 354. Chaitanya Charitamrita 1.7.37 purport. Strategic to what one scholar called his religious gradualism. Reference 355. Charles Selengut, Charishma and Religious Innovation. What is ICJ, Prabhuji?
I don't know.
ICJ. Okay. Number
Only
4
somebody
point,
knows they can tell me.
number 4.2, December 1996. They only incrementally introduced his Western recruits to the required standards, just as Srila Prabhupada maintained focused on his goal even while responding to unforeseen obstacles, advertisers, and challenges.
Adversities.
Oh, yes, adversities and challenges. So must ISKCON in today's rapidly changing world. It is unrealistic and impossible to freeze the movement in time because inexorably ISKCON has changed in significant ways since Srila Prabhupada's departure. One major difference nowadays is that most initiated devotees are financially independent, grihasthas, and do not directly serve the mission full time, which raises the question, are all of Srila Prabhupada's plans and directives, which were imparted to an ISKCON very different to that of today, relevant to the ISKCON of today, to fail to recognize these major changes and not make suitable adjustments according to the principle of time, place, and circumstance that Srila Prabhupada taught, reference 356. Time, place, and circumstance. See example letter 4th November 1970. To insist that each instruction be rigidly implemented in all circumstances could be considered a departure from Srila Prabhupada's mood in executing his mission. However, to chart ISKCON's course with personal speculations unmoved from Srila Prabhupada's stated directions would be both capricious and disastrous.
ICJ means ISKCON Communications Journal. Nothing to
Uh-huh. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji.
There is a chat in the chat here. Okay.
Pertinent to this regard, in Srila Prabhupada's order to increase the movement according to the principles he gave at that time. The members of ISKCON must increase this movement more and more according to the principles that we are presently trying to execute. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has been pleased will smilingly glance upon them, bestowing his favor, and the movement will be successful. Reference 357, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, 9th chapter, 50 purport. This directive rules out changes so drastic as to render unrecognizable the original format of the movement or to obscure its original purpose, cultivation and propagation of pure devotees devotional service to Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, according to the definition given by Srila Rupa Goswami, reference 358. See the Anyabhilashita Shunyam verse. Also ruled out all compromises on the basic standards that Srila Prabhupada insistently set for temple residence, initiation, deity worship, and multiple other facts of life in Krishna consciousness. 359 reference. Many of these basic standards are discussed within this book. Without understanding this, devotees risk becoming foolish active. Reference 360. Foolish active is very dangerous. There are four classes: lazy intelligent, busy intelligent, and lazy foolish, and active foolish. The active foolish is the fourth class man. At the present moment, they are very active, but they are all foolish. Therefore, the world is in danger. Active foolishness, foolish is he, stops. He does not work. It is better. But as soon as he becomes active, he becomes more dangerous. Lecture 8th December 1973. thus imperiling that what Krishna thus imperiling the what Srila Prabhupada gave before attempting to be creative. Devotees should properly understand Srila Prabhupada's teachings and the boundaries he gave for transgressing standard rules, as outlined in the following exchange explaining about the fridge with meat. Srila Prabhupada. In the Western countries, I had to sometimes do something which I should not have done, but I have done it to bring so many souls to Krishna. Brahmananda. Preaching necessitates that. Srila Prabhupada. Yes, because if there is no other alternative, what can I do? In the beginning, I had no disciples, so I was cooking myself. One gentleman, later on, he became my disciple. Give me some place. In the refrigerator, I saw there was meat. I asked, what is this? He said, it is for cats. I don't take meat. I stayed there 3 or 4 days, and if I cry, oh, I have violated my rules and regulations. Rules and regulations can be violated when there is an urgent necessity of service, not whimsically or for one's sense gratification, and that is with the permission of the spiritual master. Not that one should think, I have become such a great devotee. I can violate all the rules and regulations. No, you cannot. If there is a need of violating rules and regulations, you must take permission. Reference 361. Conversation 9th March 1974.
Mataji, you can stop here. I can request some other devotees.
Prabhuji, it's all touching, Prabhuji. Really amazing to read this. Oh my God. Thank you for the uh, chance. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Shyam Sarva Prabhu, you can read.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandapana.
Hello. This anecdote does not minimize the importance of the prescribed rules or give license for whimsically neglecting them. The general stipulation is that rules are to be observed rigidly even in dire need. We shall be strictly following the rules and regulations. Monetary matters are secondary. On principle, we should better starve than neglect our rules and regulations. Reference letter 11th April 1972. Another important consideration is that many of the modifications Srila Prabhupada made were intended as stopgap improvisations, means devised to somehow or other bring people to Krishna consciousness. Chaitanya Charitamrita 1.7.37 purport paraphrase. According to the principle, first they should become Krishna conscious, and all the prescribed rules and regulations may later gradually be introduced. Reference Chaitanya Charitamrita 1.7.37 purport. This indicates that much of what Srila Prabhupada allowed was not what he ultimately desired and was not meant to be the standard for the Krishna consciousness movement for all time to come. See gradualism. For instance, that Srila Prabhupada was once obliged to keep his food in a fridge with meat does not mean this becomes an acceptable standard. Another example, that Srila Prabhupada tolerated some divorce among his disciples does not mean it should become a norm among his followers, nor did his officiating at marriages despite being a sannyasi. Reference see Srila Prabhupada's explanation of his doing so, Srimad Bhagavatam 5.1.24 purport. Make it incumbent or even desirable that ISKCON sannyasis continue to do so. Changes Srila Prabhupada made pertinent to a time, place, and circumstances extraordinarily far removed from the ideal should, as conditions improve, be superseded by accepted traditional regulations ordained by Shastra. Furthermore, adjustments should be tweaks, not massive alterations. A little change here and there. Reference Chaitanya Charitamrita 2.23.105 purport. The alternative to properly following is deviation, which for the purpose of this book may be taken to mean a willful, sustained departure from what Srila Prabhupada wanted for his followers and ISKCON. However, what distinguishes a valid innovation from a deviation from the line of the Acharyas can be difficult to ascertain, given that all the results of experiments might not manifest for many years, and even then, the undesirable effects of a poor innovation might not be apparent at all. Disagreements are seemingly inevitable, for what some devotees applaud as a superb idea is likely to be seen by others as a deviation. Deviations can begin as well intentioned experiments. For an example of this, see Roadshow. Deviations can begin as well intentioned experiments, and opinions will differ as to when an experiment has gone too far. See experiments. Moreover, certain instructions that some devotees privilege, considering them inviolable principles, are seen by other devotees as mere guidelines and thus open to being adjusted, overruled, or ignored, often by invoking the time, place, and circumstance maxim. When asked how to tell the difference between making an adjustment and changing a principle, Srila Prabhupada replied obliquely, that takes a little intelligence. Reference Bhurijana Dasa, My Glorious Master, chapter 17, which suggests that in some cases there is no obvious, indisputable distinction between the two. Bhurijana Dasa commented on this statement of Srila Prabhupada's, clearly delineating between the adjustable and the non-adjustable, between a detail and a principle is not easy. It requires intelligence. To foolishly mistake a non-adjustable principle for an adjustable detail will cause havoc in spiritual life, and to accept each detail as if it can never be adjusted is fanaticism. Fanaticism will cause havoc of a different nature. If we have developed our spiritual intelligence, we can make distinctions between principles and details. But we should confirm our opinions with trusted friends or superiors. If we haven't developed our spiritual intelligence, we should take guidance from those who have. We should not act independently. I bid. Aputi Devi Dasi observed, Prabhupada wanted us to be innovative, but he also did not want us to change things. Our challenge is to have a Prabhupada dictionary to understand what is innovation and what is change. We need to pray to Prabhupada and not think we can figure this out by trial and error. Akuti Devi Dasi in a bond of love. To spread Krishna consciousness, Srila Prabhupada did many things that were not understood or appreciated by many Orthodox Hindus and Vaishnavas in India. He crossed the ocean, which a sannyasi is not supposed to do. He allowed women to live as brahmacharinis in temple precincts, unimaginable in Vedic civilization. He accepted the title Prabhupada, notwithstanding his god brother's annoyance. He accepted worship in front of the deities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which Shastra forbids. By making such innovations, Srila Prabhupada demonstrated that details may change, but the essential principle of practice and propagation of pure devotional service should remain the same. However, making such striking adjustments is particularly the prerogative of the Acharya as indicated by Srila Prabhupada. The Acharya knows how to adjust things. The real purpose is how one will take to spiritual consciousness or Krishna consciousness. Keeping one's aim to that point, some concession may be given as far as possible, keeping pace with the time and time circumstances. Reference lecture 20th February 1973. We have to find out what is the suitable means to take to Krishna consciousness. We have to follow the principle how we can attract people to Krishna consciousness. That is the business of an acharya. Not that to follow a stereotype, rules and regulations and forget the real business of preaching the cult. He is not acharya. Acharya is he who adopts means by which people may be attracted to this Krishna consciousness movement. Reference lecture 30th Jan 1971.
Prabhu,
Yes, Prabhu.
can we request some other devotees to please read? Thank you very much.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Suresh.
Thanks. Okay. Tulsi Charan Dasi.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavad.
Charan Mataji, you can read if it is possible.
Yeah. Disagreements can also arise if different devotees stress particular directives more than others. Particularly, all the instructions given by Srila Prabhupada could admit exceptions. Nevertheless, certain instructions are unambiguously of particular importance and can be accepted by his sincere followers as essential and obligatory, based on the emphasis that he himself gave to them. Obvious examples are that initiated disciples should daily chant a minimum of 16 rounds of the Maha Mantra and follow the four regulative principles of no meat eating, gambling, intoxication, or illicit sex. Attendance at morning programs by the temple residents. Standard exceptions are for cooks, pujaris, and others performing essential services at that time. The structure of the morning program Mangala Arati, Tulasi Arati, Japa period, deity greeting, Guru Puja, class. The importance of book distribution and establishing Varnashrama Dharma and first class deity worship standards for ISKCON temples. In uncommon situations, for instance, severe illness, non observance of the 16 rounds rule might be unavoidable. In truly dire circumstances, there were grounds for relaxing the four regulative principles. Reference. An example, when Harikesha Swami argued against going to the USSR to preach, saying that there is no suitable food there. Srila
There
Prabhupada,
was, Mataji, there was.
there,
There
there,
was.
there was no suitable food there. Srila Prabhupada countered by telling him he could eat meat if necessary. Reported circuitously, non-mentioning the USSR in Satsvarupadas Goswami's Srila Prabhupada Nectar 3.18. Yet, even in ordinary conditions, the very definition of each of the four regulative principles is contentious, with broad and narrow interpretations of what constitutes allowable sex, gambling, intoxication, and permitted food. Regarding the establishment of Varnashrama Dharma, no follower of Srila Prabhupada can deny the importance that he recorded to this, but some have said that we as a movement are not ready for it, and the role of women with Vaishnava society vis-a-vis their traditional Varnashrama duties is a major point of controversy within ISKCON in the
Controversy, not controversy. It's controversy.
controversy within ISKCON in the early 21st century. Undoubtedly, the establishment of Varnashrama Dharma will involve the introduction of innumerable details not directly given by Srila Prabhupada, but which are in pursuance of his dictum. I have built the skyscraper framework. You feel it in nicely. Reference. Letter 10th December 1971. Conversation 28th June 1976. Faithful followers will emphasize what Srila Prabhupada emphasized and not relegate major
Relegate.
relegate,
Relegate.
relegate major instructions while prioritizing less important ones. For instance, Srila Prabhupada gave multiple directions regarding the establishment of Gurukulas, and he also an occasion mentioned having English medium schools in India for children of respectable families. Thus, to abandon his desires for Gurukula and to only focus on the other type of school could be termed a deviation from his mandate regarding the education of children. Reference. This section has briefly examined topics concerning adjustments, etc., in the context of understanding and applying Srila Prabhupada's instructions. For Srila Prabhupada's specific instructions regarding deviations, etc. See Deviation, Volume 3, page number 289. See also Adjustments and Adaptability.
No. See also adjustability and adaptability.
Yes, Prabhu. See also Adjustments and
No,
Adaptability.
adjustability, not adjustments.
Adjust. Okay, I am reading from book Prabhuji. So
Book
it's
it is adjustments is given.
yes, Prabhu.
Oh, I don't know. Actually, it is adjustability.
Okay.
Okay, no
Okay.
problem. Okay, no problem.
Okay. See also adjustability and adaptability, page number 606. Regarding Srila Prabhupada's innovativeness being within parampara parameters. See quote from Dr. Hopkins, page number 175.
Okay, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for giving me opportunity.
Thank you. Yeah. There's some other devotees to read. Okay. I don't know. Atul Singh is the name. What is the name,
Hare Krishna
Prabhuji?
Prabhuji. Dhanvat Prabhu.
Atil.
Atindriya
What's his
Das.
name, Prabhuji? Yeah. Atindriya Prabhu. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
You are in Italy right now?
Yes,
Okay.
Prabhuji.
So
I'm
you
in
can.
Italy and tomorrow I'm leaving. I'm coming to India.
Okay. You can start reading. Welcome to India.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Welcome back to India. Yes.
Presenting Srila Prabhupada as he is, amid varying interpretations. Inevitably, Srila Prabhupada's legacy will be interpreted in various ways by various of his followers. Many of them by sharing their experiences and perspectives of Srila Prabhupada have enriched our understanding of his extraordinary achievements and personality. In doing so, they have also indirectly underscored an important truth that he often taught, that each living being is an individual and distinct person. All disciples have glorified Srila Prabhupada according to their own distinct relationship and attitude toward him, as captured in the title of Loknath Swami's book, My Prabhupada. However, different outlooks can lead to factions and schisms. A reference: see factions and schisms. Historically, after the departure of an ideological leader, whether religious, philosophical, or political, different schools almost always arise based on varying interpretations of that leader's teachings. Although generally the various schools have equal access to source material, interpretations can widely differ. The school that emerges as dominant might be one that markedly redefines the founder's original intent and mission, as most famously with St. Paul's recasting of the message and mission of Jesus Christ, thus inaugurating and perpetuating a misrepresentation of the founder's intention as being the true orthodox path. Already today in some matters there is pronounced disagreement on what it means to follow Srila Prabhupada. Newcomers to ISKCON are taught various shades of understanding. Srila Prabhupada and his mission.
No. You should read like this. Otherwise, people will think it. Newcomers to ISKCON are taught various shades of understanding Srila Prabhupada and his mission. So that continuity is there.
Sorry, yes.
Otherwise,
Srila Prabhupada and his mission.
because this
Yes.
is very, very important. These particular topics need to be understood very properly. So should be maintained.
Newcomers to ISKCON are taught various sets of understanding Srila Prabhupada and his mission, coming from the devotees with whom they associate, all of whom presume to accurately comprehend his teachings. This may be observed in sometimes markedly varied perceptions and attitudes of followers regarding various issues. Disagreements about Srila Prabhupada's intent can and have led to multiple costly, time-consuming, and divisive problems. Reference: A prime example is in opposing interpretations of the Secretary's letter of 9 July 1977.
Does anybody know what is this letter? 9th July letter? This is what is Maharaj writing over here. The prime example is an opposing interpretation of the Secretary's letter of 9th July 1977. Does anybody know this?
No,
Regarding this initiation, Prabhu.
No, but what is that 9th July letter?
It's a Ritvik
What is-
system.
Yeah. It's a Ritvik quote this ISKCON Bangalore and Hare Krishna movement, Hare Krishna village, and ISKCON Sri Krishna Mandir from Singapore. All these three, basically, they quote this 9th July letter. That's what Maharaj is writing over here. So we should be aware of that. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, Prabhu. Please continue.
Yes, Prabhu. For instance, within ISKCON at present, there are advocates and denigrators of programs in India for the mass feeding of school children, and some who adamantly claim to follow Srila Prabhupada, such as Ritvikwadis, are perceived by others as being grossly deviated from his actual intentions. Without dwelling on the complex discussions that ensue from such issues, this book attempts to present Srila Prabhupada as he is, to explain copiously, citing his own words, what he envisaged ISKCON to be and how the members of ISKCON are meant to fulfill his mandate. Thank you,
Once-
Prabhuji. Thank you
Yes.
for giving the
Continue.
opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, we can stop here tomorrow, or we can read what devotees say. Because with this particular essay, we will close this chapter and go to part 2. What devotees want me to do? It depends on them. If you want, I can read. Otherwise, I can stop here. Shall we continue, or shall we stop here? 8:17. We'll take another slide.
Continue.
We can
We
stop.
can
We
continue
can
for
complete
some
this
more
session.
time.
We can complete this section and we can stop after this.
Yes,
Because
Prabhuji. Yes, Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
okay,
Thank you.
I'm not ready. I'll read it now. Okay. Prabhupada consciousness and Krishna consciousness. The Krishna consciousness of the earliest devotees in the West was largely focused on Srila Prabhupada. His love and care captured their hearts. His teachings and the process he gave appealed to them, and his purity and selflessness awed and convinced them. It was natural that they made him the center of their existence, which Srila Prabhupada accepted with an important proviso. Ishan Das recounted, quote, "My whole connection with Krishna consciousness was thinking about him," unquote. Reference, Ishan Das, quote, Srila Prabhupada Memories by Ishan Das, Part 1, YouTube, timestamp 5150, the YouTube link. When Srila Prabhupada asked Ishan, quote, "Are you always thinking of Krishna?" Ishan replied, quote, "I know hardly anything about Krishna. I just try to think of you, Srila Prabhupada." Unquote. Srila Prabhupada responded, quote, "You can always think of me, but I am always thinking of Krishna." Unquote. Reference. However, although Prabhupada consciousness was and must remain existent with and intrinsic to Krishna consciousness of ISKCON's members, Srila Prabhupada did not want to start a personality cult centered on himself. He unfailingly directed his disciples toward Krishna. Atreya Rishi Das recalled, "Each time you met me, Srila Prabhupada, you wanted to convince me that Krishna is the possessor of all opulences. I came to you with so much admiration. I expected so much from you, but every time you deflected my praise for you by pointing me toward that blue boy, Krishna. I wanted you as my object of worship, but the more stubborn I was in that desire, the more insistent you were to correct me." Quote, "If you are genuine in your feelings toward me," unquote, "you said, quote, you must hear my message of Krishna's. For me, Krishna was too far, too incomprehensible. You were so close, so available. But you refused to have anything to do with me unless it was centered around your object of love, Sri Krishna. Reference Atreya Rishi Das, Vyasa Puja Offering, 1984. Although Srila Prabhupada was the center of his disciples' lives, he wanted to see Krishna in the center. As Dr. Thomas Hopkins noted, quote, it was never himself in the center. He never said, you should do this because of me. He always said, you should do this and I should do this because of Krishna. When he gave them instructions to do what they thought were impossible things, just like he told one of the early disciples, quote, go start a magazine. The guy had never had any contact with the magazine before in his life except to read one. And he said, quote, how am I to do that? And Bhaktivedanta Swami said, quote, Krishna will help you, unquote. Can anybody tell me where is this quote reference from without reading the book? This is from the Your Well-Wisher, if I'm not wrong. Yes. Dr. Thomas Hopkins in Your Ever Well-Wisher movie. I remember hearing that in that movie. When once Srila Prabhupada said, quote, Krishna is wonderful always, unquote. A disciple aptly responded, quote, and you are wonderful, unquote. But Srila Prabhupada again steered his disciples' attention to Krishna. I am wonderful so long I serve Krishna. Otherwise, useless, no value. If I can serve Krishna, then I am wonderful, certainly. We don't want to become cheap wonderful. We want to become really wonderful by serving Krishna. That is our mission. Krishna is wonderful, undoubtedly. Who can become more wonderful than Krishna? This reference is from Conversation, 20th March, 1977. Members of ISKCON must keep Srila Prabhupada's instructions in the center of their activities while remembering that Srila Prabhupada most of all wanted them to keep Krishna in the center. All his instructions were meant for the purpose of individually developing and collectively spreading Krishna consciousness, not Prabhupada consciousness per se. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
The modern mission of Srila Prabhupada by His Holiness Bhakti Swami Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Okay, so today we'll stop and we will meet tomorrow.
Thank you,
And
Prabhuji.
the session is ended. If anybody wants to ask, they can ask. And if devotees don't have the book, kindly order. Sujana Mataji, yesterday you didn't have, did you order the book or not? I don't know. Mataji is not there. She left.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandat Pranam. Prabhuji, Krishna Kinkari Das here. Prabhuji, I wanted to buy it when I go to Vyas Puja. So, is that okay, Prabhu? Because last year I got Bhakti Siddhanta Vaibhav. So, I will get
Okay, no
this.
problem.
Okay,
Just a
thank you.
few days ahead.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
No, no. Okay, anybody has any questions to ask? Anything to ask? Okay, so we'll
Hare
stop
Krishna.
here.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji, for this wonderful association. Otherwise, I was feeling that we need to have something like that. Since 2 months, I was thinking we must have this, but it didn't work out. Locally, I started, but it didn't work out. Now,
You're from
every
which
day,
part of India
Vellore,
locally?
Vellore.
Vellore. Vellore.
Maharaj today left to Udupi from Vellore.
Ah,
So my husband went, got the chance to drop Maharaj in the railway station today.
okay.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
It's all Krishna's mercy. I
Mercy.
told Maharaj in United States when I was serving Maharaj, I expressed my desire that I would like to read this, and I told that we read so many of your books. I told Maharaj that we read Ramayana, all those books I read, and Maharaj didn't know about that. And when Maharaj heard this, then he was very happy. And I told that Maharaj, if we read, then devotees, if we continuously read again and again, then devotees will, the interest to regarding the book will arise, and so many things are there within the book that can be highlighted. That's what I told Maharaj. Maharaj was very happy to give me permission to do it. Anyhow, we could do it. I was about to do it, but it gave an added advantage to that.
Really,
Uh,
really.
1 second, there was some chat question is there. What is that? Prabhuji, bridge preaching is not innovation. Bleach in principle. Okay, yeah. Okay. So that's the thing. So in that way, this got materialized like this. Hare Krishna. It's all
Hare
Maharaj
Krishna.
Masti. We have nothing to do with this.
Exactly.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare.
We'll start here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
And I request one thing that you share this to as many devotees as possible, and then tell them to again join this. We are getting hardly 15-20 devotees, and they are also coming, going. So we want many devotees to join. I don't know why so many devotees have come in the WhatsApp group, but very few people are joining the sessions. There are many other things also to do. I can understand, but you can do your part of sharing or telling other devotees also. Okay. Prabhuji's Mataji's, thank you. One shot
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Prabhuji, Shri Prabhupada, Vijay Bhattacharya, Krishna, Namah.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Sam Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.